I think the most important issue to remind the museum educators in Taiwan about is that they need to continue the wonderful work that they're doing now. I mean, there seems to be a strong museum education community. I was very impressed by the 3 talks that I heard this afternoon that addressed the same kind of issues that I hear in the United States, in Great Britain, and countries that have had longer and very strong museum education programs. You're doing all the work that needs to be done. You're concerned about accessibility, which is a big issue for museums in a very broad sense, not just accessibility for people with various handicaps, but accessibility for larger audiences and trying to bring into the museum people who don't regularly come. You're concerned about working more with teachers, and that which is a long-term process. And we have to remember that teachers don't know very much about museums because it's really a very specialized culture. It has its own rules and its own ideas, and we have to explain that to teachers. At the same time, we have to find out what it is they need. And people today talked about work with immigrants, work with native peoples, all issues which are very strongly felt by museum educators in North America and elsewhere. But you're on the right road in the sense that you're doing all these things, you're thinking about them, and you're gathering together and building up a profession. I think it's very important that you build a profession of museum educators who can have a professional identity for themselves, and by doing that can also organize themselves to do the political work that you need to do in order to have your voice heard increasingly strongly in the museum profession. The first thing I want to say about your students is that I'm enormously impressed by their energy and their commitment and their joy in what they're doing. You may work them very hard, you may make them work very hard, but it certainly doesn't seem to hurt them. They're full of energy and enthusiasm, and they know a lot. The exhibits that they showed me yesterday, even the first-year students, clearly indicated that they were getting a sense of what it takes to make an exhibit and to make an educational exhibit. And when I talk to them, they tell me about experiences that they have. So what I want to remind them of is really things I think they already know. Museum work is hard. It's not the way to get rich, but it's the kind of work for people who have a passion for service industry, for helping the community. And they really have a strong mission. Museums can be great advocates for democracy, for social justice. And I've heard from them, from what they described, that they're interested in those issues. And all I can say to them is keep up the work. Keep doing what you're doing and learn, and you will be able to make a difference in the world.